So it's no secret that I love my roller coasters. I've ridden 106 of them now, and like many other roller coaster enthusiasts, I rank the roller coasters that I've ridden. So today I'm going to be doing my yearly top 10 roller coasters video. So if you go on to like this or you find it interesting, please smack that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a single video. Without further ado, let's get straight on into it. So kicking the video off then, at my number 10 spot today, we have the Wicker Man. This is a 2018 GCI wooden roller coaster at Alton Towers, and this is a masterclass on how to make a package roller coaster. Now what I mean by that is this roller coaster incorporates great theming and a great layout to make something special. Otherwise the coaster alone wouldn't make my list. Now this is a roller coaster, in my opinion, Alton Towers was screaming out for years. Alton Towers never built a wooden roller coaster before the Wicker Man was installed, and I absolutely love it. It offers some great airtime. I love the pre-show before you actually go onto the ride itself. And I love the theme, the Wicker Man theme. It's Alton Towers' own take on that classic Wicker Man story, and they did it so well, they really did. And I love those Millennium Flyer trains. So that's why Wicker Man sits in my number 10 spot today. So at my number 9 spot today, we have another wooden roller coaster, and that's Megaphobia at Oakwood Theme Park in Wales. Now this is a 1996 CCI wooden roller coaster, and I absolutely love it. Now, unlike Wicker Man, this doesn't have the theming to hold it up, but the layout does that on its own, in my opinion, and that's why this roller coaster is placed where it is. Nearly a year on from last riding it, and it still ranks in my top 10. I love Megaphobia, I really do. Now, this roller coaster doesn't let up from start to finish. The layout is a masterpiece, it really is. It was designed by the legendary John Wardley, and you can tell. There's elements on this roller coaster that I've not seen on a wooden roller coaster before. It is fantastic, and it's a great example of how a old roller coaster still holds up today. I love it, I really do, and that's why it ranks at my number 9 spot today. Now my next coaster in my number 8 spot is a roller coaster that seems to go up and down in my rankings every year, and that's the Smiler at Alton Towers. This is a 2013 Gerstlauer Infinity coaster, and I absolutely love it for the most part. For me, the Smiler is a bit of a Marmite coaster. If you get a good ride on it, it can be very good, but sometimes you get a bad ride and it can be quite rough. This year though, it's been riding really well for me. I've not had that many bad rides on it at all, and it's been making its way back up my rankings. This is quite a unique roller coaster for the UK to have, not just for the world to have, because this is the first Gerstlauer Infinity roller coaster that was ever made. It's also the world record holder for the most inversions on a roller coaster, meaning that it goes upside down the most times than any other roller coaster in the world. It has 14 inversions. And I love this. I love the theme, that dark, sinister theme of this correctional facility. I love some of the elements on this roller coaster as well. The Sea Serpent roll being one of my favourites, and those first inversions as you come off of the lift hills, for example, and I love the Staffordshire knot, that batwing and the Cobra head elements mixed together. It's just a great roller coaster in my opinion, and an engineering marvel. And again, it's another one of John Wardley's classics, really, or at least in my opinion anyway. So that's why the Smiler sits in my number 8 spot. At number 7 today, we have a roller coaster that's made its way down my rankings from where it used to rank, and that's Icon at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. This is a 2018 Mack Mega Coaster with 2 launches, the first double launch roller coaster in the UK. Now I love Icon, don't get me wrong, but the more and more roller coasters I ride around the world, it just cements more and more what I love in a roller coaster. So basically, I've ridden better roller coasters. That's why it's made its way down my rankings. But that's not to take away from the fact that this is a really good roller coaster. It's a must-do every time you go to Blackpool Pleasure Beach. I love the restraints on Icon, those Mack lap bar restraints. They're so comfortable, some of the comfortablest restraints I've ever ridden with on a roller coaster. I love some of the elements on Icon as well. That top hat is absolutely amazing. As you go over it, you get an amazing pop of airtime. I love the tight twists and turns in the second section of this ride. It's just such a good roller coaster. But sadly, I can't place it above some of the other roller coasters that are on this list. This roller coaster doesn't have a theme as such. It's more stylized like some of the other coasters on this list. I'll get to those in a second. But like I say, Icon sits at my number 7 spot at the moment. So at my number 6 spot today, we have the Swarm at Thorpe Park. This is a 2012 B&M Wing Coaster, and it's such a unique ride for the UK to have. I've not really ridden anything like the Swarm. The nearest roller coaster I can compare it to is Furious Baco, but this has a much better layout in my opinion than Furious Baco. Now the layout on this roller coaster is quite short, but what it does in that short layout is amazing. It has so many low to the ground elements, which makes it quite an intense roller coaster in places. It has some great head chopper elements, which means you go close to things whilst you're on the ride. I love some of the elements themselves on this roller coaster. So I love the 0G roll as you go down that drop. I love the corkscrew, and I love the inline twist as you go over the station on this roller coaster. It's just such a unique ride to have, and the theming on this roller coaster is done so well. I think the Swarm is one of the best themed roller coasters in the UK. It's got such a good theme to it. It's themed to the apocalypse and these swarm aliens that are coming down and stealing people. Again, it's just such a unique roller coaster to have, and I've been loving it more and more the more I ride it. So that's why it sits at my number 6 spot. So at my number 5 spot today, we have a brand new entry, and that's Sick at Flamingo Land. Now, Sick, at the time of recording, only opened about a week and a half ago, but it's made it into my top 10 already because it's such a good roller coaster. Now, this is a near clone of Colossus at Thorpe Park. There are some slightly differently profiled pieces of track, though, in this layout, which makes it different. It's Intamin's 10 inversion Rev B model, so again, like Colossus, but different. This roller coaster has lap bars, Intamin's brand new lap bar system, and it works so well on this layout. It really does. This roller coaster is stylized, so it's not themed particularly, unless you'd call a clothing brand a theme. But Flamingo Land have collaborated with Sick Silk to open this roller coaster, and that's why this roller coaster is called Sick. Now, when you go in the station, it looks really fresh. You've got the flags coming down from the ceiling. You've got the vinyls on the wall. I think the vinyl wrap on the actual coaster car itself looks really unique. I love the music that pumps out in the station. And just the ride experience in general is so good. Every time I went on this roller coaster, the last time I went to Flamingo Land about a week and a half ago, as I mentioned, it was just such a good ride. And it deserves that top 5 spot. Now, I couldn't place it above my next roller coaster just because I do think this is the best roller coaster in the UK. It's the last roller coaster in the UK that will appear on this list. But nonetheless, Sick does appear in my top 5 at my number 5 spot. So to nobody's surprise then, at my number 4 spot today, we have Nemesis at Alton Towers. This is a 1994 B&M inverted roller coaster, and I love it so much. If I had a number 0 roller coaster, this would definitely be it. Now, most enthusiasts do have a number 0 roller coaster, and it's basically a roller coaster that means a lot to you. So you place it above any other roller coaster, but it just has its own unique spot above your number 1. This roller coaster is so unique, and it's one of the only world-class roller coasters I think we have in the UK, at least in my opinion anyway. Now, I love intensity in a roller coaster, and Nemesis offers it in bucket loads. I love that helix section before you go into the 0G roll above the station. It has one of the best vertical loops that I've ever done, and I love how it just doesn't let up from start to finish. You are just flung round this track. Now, Nemesis is quite short, but again, what it does with that short layout is so imaginative, and John Worley did such a good job with this roller coaster back when it was built in 1994. Now, this roller coaster is also really well themed, in my opinion. It's themed to the Nemesis creature, a creature that was unearthed by Thanax operatives after they dug down looking for this creature. I really do love the theme. It has started to become a bit tatty in places around the ride itself, but it is due for a retrack soon and some touch-ups around the theme. So we'll see those fixed as part of that work, hopefully next year. I'm hoping that we can get at least another half a season out of Nemesis before it is closed for its recheck. But Nemesis does rank at my number 4 spot. I absolutely love it. So breaking into my top 3 then, we have a masterclass in theming, and that's F.L.Y at Phantasialand. Now this is a 2020 Vekoma Flying Dutchman, and it's the only flying roller coaster in the world to feature a launch. In fact, this roller coaster features 2 launches, and I absolutely love it. Now this doesn't feel like your traditional flying coaster. Take Air, for example, at Alton Towers. That sits parallel to the track. You're at a slight angle with F.L.Y, making it much more of a comfortable experience, in my opinion. I love the theming around the area of Rookborough, the area that this roller coaster is in. You step into the area, and you're not just stepping into an area, you're stepping into a whole nother world. It really is something to be seen for yourself, really. I would recommend going to Phantasialand just to ride F.L.Y alone. The layout is so good on this roller coaster as well. Like Nemesis, you're weaving in and out of the ground. The second launch, for instance, on this roller coaster is completely on the ground, so you can't see it. You look above your head and you can't tell where this roller coaster's going. It's just everywhere, and I love that so much. And that's why F.L.Y sits at my number 3 spot today. So breaking into my number 2 spot then, we have Shambhala. This is a 2012 B&M hypercoaster, and I love this coaster so much, I really do. Hence why it's in my number 2 spot. You get bucket loads of airtime on this roller coaster, no matter where you're sat. You get some great intensity in places like the ampersand, that turnaround section just after the big first airtime hill. You get some great views from the top of the lift hill on this roller coaster, and you get time to take those in as well. And that's not to mention the comfortable clamshell restraints, the B&M clamshell restraints that act as a lap bar system on this roller coaster to keep you in. It's just such a good ride. This ride is themed to the Himalayas, so you go into this Himalayan mountain, and it works so well. And I love how this roller coaster isn't particularly over themed, so there's not like loads and loads of theming around the whole layout. It's more towards the station and the splashdown section on this roller coaster. That's also another fun element on Shambhala. It could do with some station audio, but it has got audio around the area, and yeah, I love Shambhala, I really do. I think it's a great roller coaster, and it's well deserving of that number 2 spot. So in my number 1 spot today then, we have Taron at Phantasialand. This is a 2016 Intamin Blitz coaster, and wow, I love this coaster. Not just for the theming, but for the layout. This coaster has the best layout that I've ever been on in terms of roller coaster. It really does. It interacts with the theming perfectly. So this roller coaster is themed to the world of Klugheim, a Viking-ish theme, I guess. And there's rock work all around this roller coaster that it weaves in and out of, some of which you couldn't even tell was man-made, really, concrete man-made rock work. It's just such a good layout. It's one of the most intense roller coasters I've ever been on as well. That second launch is absolutely amazing. One of the best launches I've ever done on a roller coaster. You have to put your head in the back of your seat, otherwise your head will get flung into the back of your seat. It's that powerful. This also has the same restraint system that SICK has, so it has the brand new Intamin lap bar restraint that you see on most Intamin Blitz coasters, and it works so well. I really do love Taron, and I hope hope to get out there sometime soon just to ride it again, because it is my #1 roller coaster at the moment. So guys, that's been my yearly top 10 video. If you've got your own top 10, please do let me know down in the comment section below. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts and opinions. I know that so many people rank the roller coasters that you've ridden, like myself. I've ridden 106 different roller coasters now, so it's getting quite hard to make a top 10 if I'm being honest with the amount of coasters that I've actually ridden. If you want me to do a bigger list, maybe a top 50 roller coasters, top 20, then again let me know down in the comment section below. But if you have enjoyed this video, please smack that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a single video. I've been Ryan from iCoaster, and I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.